we have all of our restaurants, and when we click on the search button here, it'll take us to the results of whatever we entered into our search form. And when you click on Joe's Pasta Bar, it'll take you to the restaurant show page. And so the next best thing to do is to actually add an image to our restaurant model, so that when you click onto Joe's Pasta Bar, you'll actually see an image that's associated to Joe's Pasta Bar. And that way here also in our search results, we can actually put in an image here that's functional, and so that when you click on it, it'll actually take you to the restaurant show page as well. So it just looks a lot nicer when things have an image to it. So what we're going to do is, if we go into our gem file, is we're going to rely on a gem to do that for us. And the gem is called Carrier Wave. And what we need to do, and before we even bundle it, let's cancel our Rails server just to make sure that we don't forget that. That's stung me a few times trying to figure things out and why things don't work, and it's because I didn't restart the Rails server. So I went through and installed Carrier Wave for us, so you'll see that it's installed. And now, actually we won't even start the Rails server yet. What we need to do is Rails G uploader, so this is a Carrier Wave action item, or a command, Carrier Wave command, is to generate the image uploader RB file. And we don't really need to go into that right now. There's a ton of things that you can do with Carrier Wave, but for the sake of this course, we're just going to do a very basic upload of an image. You can use Mini Magic and Art Magic to do all sorts of stuff like resizing images. We're not going to do that, but you can definitely take a look at their GitHub page and read the documentation if you'd like to add some more functionality around your images. So there we have it. What we need to do now is to generate a migration file. Generate migration, Rails G migration, add image to restaurants. So here, add image, add a column to our restaurants model image string. Now all we have to do is do a rake db migrate, and it went through and did that, and we can double check that by going to our schema. So it's now got an image column. Now we have to go into our restaurant model and add some more syntax here, some more code that Carrier Wave knows to, which model to upload the image to. So mount uploader of image uploader to the image column. Alright, now if we go to our new page, because we need a way in order to upload the files, right? So if we go into our new restaurants page, this is our form. What we can do here is say f file field image, and let's put a break in there as well. And then, well, let's take a look at this for now. Start our Rails server, and let's go to here to search. Now it's not giving us anything, at least not yet, but if we write a review saying we don't, I called it filed field, it should be file field. To refresh, there you go, so that works. So now we can say, this is always the hardest part, Steve's Burgers. Awesome fries. And wow, this is going to be a French restaurant because we don't have American on here. This will be also in Chicago, Illinois. Now I've already downloaded an image here. I just found it online. This is just, again, for the sake of the course. But this is the file that I'm going to be uploading, the image I'm going to be uploading. So burgers. It could be whatever image you want it to be. Again, this is all just for testing purposes. Create a restaurant. So there you have it. Now it's not showing us anything yet. So that's what we're going to do next here, is go into our show page. And in all of this right here, we don't need any of this. And we can replace this with image tag restaurant image URL. And hopefully do a refresh. That did not work for us. You know what we forgot to do? Go into our restaurants controller. We need to go into our restaurants controller and add it as a parameter. So the image column needs to be added as a parameter in here. So now let's just create Steve's Burger again. Steve's Fries. Great burgers. We'll keep it. Let's say it's Indian, even though it's not. Okay, so the last one is in Chicago, and this one will be in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now let's just go back to the burger image, create restaurant, and there you have it. So now this is the image, and it comes up top here, and what we can do, if we go into our search here, and I can't remember what we put it under, I think it's Indian, Steve's Fries, we can actually make this functional so that it actually is linking to the image. And so if we go into our search HTML ERB, you see this are the images right here. What we can do, and actually, do we need any of them? We need them more there. We can change this. Link to image tag restaurant dot image URL. You need to convert it to a string. It's going to be linked to the restaurant. Do refresh, and there you have it. It shows up right here. And what we can do here is, if it doesn't have an image, then give us that placeholder. So we can say it's if that restaurant image URL present, then do this. Else, let's end it to. Then show link to image tag the URL of the placeholder, which we're just using placehold it. Placehold it 370 by 210, I believe. It's still going to take us to the restaurant. Do a refresh. There you go. So it's come back. So now when we click on it, it'll take us to the image here, or the restaurant show page. So if it doesn't have an image, I think it's fine keeping it like this, where if it doesn't have an image, then it's just blank. If you like, you could go back in there and put in the placeholder image. But here we know that it works, so that when we click on Steve's Fries, it takes us here. So fantastic. We've added images to our restaurants with very little code. And when you do a search on here, you can click on either the image or the name of the restaurant, and it'll take you to that restaurant's show page and display that image.